So, welcome back to the garden here in South Wales. It's a well-earned cup of coffee. I've been busy today just rejigging the bed down outside the greenhouse, the little triangular bed, and removing the plum tree that didn't give us any plums. So that gave me a little bit more space, and of course I had to fill it up with something. And the Euphorbia John Phillips now is looking a lot more open, and it's got a lot more room down there. It's not squashed in between the plants because it is quite a large plant, the John Phillips. So I'm going to finish my coffee and then I'll take you around and show you what else I've been doing in the garden. So straight away now, as I come out of the back door, you can see that looking down the path, it is looking a lot clearer down there. So what have I done? Let's take a little bit of a closer look. So the plum tree has gone. And here in this area, I did have the large Photinia red robin. So I've placed now a rhododendron in that area, and I'm hoping that by removing that large plant there, the Photinia, so that's now in the centre, and it'll also give the new passion flower, which is against this trellis, the sunshine from both sides, so it'll have a lot more sun down here. So looking at it now from the other direction, you can see the large pittosporum, the silver one, that is still in place. And where the plum tree was is now the large Photinia red robin. And that also has the advantage now of being evergreen in the garden. So the mahonia, that's still here. Lovely plant that. A lot of people don't like these, but I actually do like the leaves. Very spiky. And so the Euphorbia John Phillips, that's still filling up the space there. A beautiful plant. And just underneath there, I've planted a Nandina. So it's looking a lot more open down here now. And I think I prefer it. And looking in the background there, you can see that the tree fern is looking absolutely magnificent there. Just look at that. Wonderful. It's very warm today. It's not that sunny, but it's about 20 degrees. It's very humid. So this smoke bush has also gone quite large in the garden. There's some beautiful leaves on it. Really nice veining on that. And the birds are going mad at the moment out here. Just look at that. Lovely. So I've also been busy just doing a little bit of feeding and a little bit of weeding. I don't do an awful lot of weeding in the garden, but it is looking nice and full now. And these flowers on the phormium, just look at them now. They're actually coming out. Beautiful sight. And these stems are so thick on the flowers. Beautiful to see. So none of the plants that I've taken out have been wasted. And I've just added in down here another little Photinia. And that is next to the rhododendron here. And just look at that plant now at the back. That's really filling out. That's the Sambucus Black Beauty. The flowers now are fading. Such a lovely leaf on that. The Schefflera is looking wonderful in the garden. And I noticed, just look at the flowers now coming out on the hydrangea. And that is coming out with some blue flowers. So that means that this earth here must be quite acidic. Otherwise they'd be coming out in a pinky colour. So I've also just been trimming down a few of the plants at the bottom of the garden, just to make the walkway a little bit easier. And you'll also notice that I've made a small little pathway just to get across the border there, so we don't go tripping over the water butt. So the fittings have come back for the water butt, but we haven't got the hose yet. So that now has got to be fitted probably this weekend. So the centre bed here now, I'm happy now since I've moved things around here. So we've got a few roses. The salvia is coming up there. That's the purple and bloom. And the salvia that I've put on the corner here, that now is getting some lovely sun. So it's marvellous to see some flowers coming on that. And the jasmine is also doing really well on the trellis. Beautiful. So I've also been asked by one of my viewers if I would do a video of the garden, showing it from above, just so that they could see the layout of the garden. Well, here I am now, just hanging out of my landing window. So we actually live on a corner plot, so I can't actually video all of the garden at once from a high level, as I've got to use my landing window on the side of the house and the bathroom window at the back of the house. But this year will just give you a little idea of the layout, and then the garden just goes around to the right hand side. So at the bottom we've got the greenhouse, that's sort of midway, and you can see there the large cordyline where they're positioned, the tetrapanax. So hopefully now when you watch the videos you'll have a better understanding of how the garden is positioned. So coming back down now to the proper level, out near my back door, you can actually see now what I mean by the layout of the garden. So I've also been giving this plant a little bit of a trim on the edges as they were quite dry. And this plant has grown absolutely huge. This is a bromeliad. It's in a pot, but you can't really see the pot anymore. It's about 4 foot across now, I think. It is huge. And I also like having a little bit of colour there in the Belfast sink. Beautiful little dianthus there. and some geraniums at the back. And also look at the flowers here on this salvia. Beautiful flowers on this. Wonderful with their red and white colouring. So the cordyline cutting that I took a week or so ago, that is doing okay. It's surviving anyway. And the agave americana in the pot, that's also doing well. And the yucca rostrata in the arid bed is also looking good since I trimmed back the lower leaves, and that now is exposing more of the trunk, and that looks a lot tidier now. And the new salvia is also starting to flower. Some lovely blooms coming out on this. Beautiful. The tetrapanax is looking absolutely wonderful in the garden, and that's really grown this year. Look at the size on them leaves now. So next week, Tony and myself are flying off to Turkey for a holiday for 10 days. So I will miss the garden, but my parents will be moving in to look after little Vim. And my dad has got the responsibility of being chief waterer for 10 days. But I'm sure he'll enjoy looking after the garden. And the first dahlia is coming out in the garden. Such a beautiful colour on that one. And we've also got some buds just coming out there on the agapanthus. This is the agapanthus fireworks. So thank you so much for watching. Time for another coffee, and I'll see you next time, probably when I come home from holiday. Bye for now.